Hey, ¿qué pasó, mi gente? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Luis Lopez, and today I got a few picks for you for the Sunday main slate on the NFL. But before we do that, let's review some of the picks that I gave you for the Thursday night game. I gave you Jamar Chase over 6.5 reception. He lands at 16. I gave you Jaylen Warren over his rushing yards at 50.5. He lands with 127. He ends with 127. I gave you DK Metcalf over 59.5 receiving yards. He lands at 50. Two divas. Rodgers, DK Metcalf, hands wide. DK Metcalf did not get any more targets in the second half, except for I think he ended up getting one more target, 5 yards. He had one of his receptions turned into an interception that could have gotten us over his receiving prop. That wasn't the case, and unfortunately he stayed on the under. He cost me, unfortunately, a few grand, and I know he cost a few out there also a good amount of money. I ended up taking my favorite props and did all lines over non-dog, and they all easily cashed. This saved my evening. I should have had a big evening, really big evening. But, hey, I'll take profit, whatever amount that is. This game, NFL main slate on Sunday. The Dolphins are taking on the Browns. Horrible weather expected over at Cleveland. 2.5 point spread. 36.5 game total. Not many points are expected. And you know one rule that I have is any running back, I don't care who it is. This time happens to be David A. Chen. Where are you? Did they just remove David A. Chen? No, here you go. I take any running back, their rushing yards on the under when you're playing the Browns. Plain and simple. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your line are. I take the under. Why? Because the Browns allow the third fewest rushing yards. And they rank number 1 against yards per carry allowed. Also, on top of that, only 3 players have gone on the over. 3 out of 9. Let me point out some of them. Some relevant ones. Some number 1 running backs in their respective team. Chase Brown, his line was 67.5, lands at 43. We took the under on that one. Derrick Henry, 97.5, he lands at 23. Josh Jacobs, 76.5, he lands at 30. We took the Mason line at under 62.5, he lands at 52. Just very tough matchup for Devin A. Chen. He should easily stay on the under like he did against the Carolina Panthers, which are an equal defense against the run like the Browns. Browns are even better, and Browns are playing at home. In that game against the Panther, he had 10 attempts, only 16 yards. So I expect David A. Chen to stay under 68.5 rushing yards easily. 69.5 is a great line. 70.5 on the under is also a fantastic line. Pinnacle has it at 67.5, but basically even money. All right, so that is my first pick for you from that game. Next game, same concept. I take unders on any running back going up against the Carolina Panthers. In this game, the Jersey Jets are taking on the Carolina Panthers. This game has a 1.5 point spread. Game total 42.5. Regarding rushing yards, players like Breece Hall against the Carolina Panthers. Relevant players, David A. Chen, 65.5, lands at 16. Jay Will from the Cowboys, 74.5, lands at 29. Other relevant players, Bijan Robinson, line 82.5, lands at 72. We took the under on that one. James Conner, his line was 70.5, lands at 34. So yeah, difficult matchup for Breece Hall. Running backs have not been successful rushing against the Carolina Panthers. I don't expect Breece Hall to be either. If players like Jay Williams only landed at 29, David Chen lands at 16, Bijan Robinson stays on the under, how can Breece Hall go on the over on this? He breaks one loose, gets lucky, somebody trips, I don't know. But I'm playing the odds, I'm playing the history, I'm playing the matchup. Breece Hall under 69.5 rushing yards easily for me on the under. Next player. 2 players from this game. These are my Giants. They're taking on the Broncos. The Broncos are playing at home. This game has a 7-point spread. Game total 40.5. My Giants are basically really, really soft in every possible way. Against the rush, against the pass, you name it. But the one thing they try doing a lot is rushing the quarterback a ton. And that's what they will do to Bo Nix, which in turn will leave gaps open for Bo Nix to try to go over his 18.5 rushing yards, which I expect him to go on the over. He has in the last 2 games. My Giants rank 22nd when it comes down to rush yards allowed. They rank 29th against yards per carry allowed, and they rank number 1 in pace. Now, if Bo Nix is going to be under duress, that means Evan Ingram in a revenge matchup in targets that have been increasing all the way up to 7 targets in a fantastic matchup against his all Giants. They used to play for the Giants. A team that ranks 28th against receiving yards allowed, 28th against targets allowed, number 1 in pace. This line at 25.5 is just way too low on Evan Ingram. He can easily get this in 3 receptions. And in the slot area, where he will be targeted quite often, especially if Bo Nix is under duress, he gets 34% of his targets in the slot area, with my Giants rank 31st, almost dead last. Let me show them to you. Here they are. Breece Hall under 67.5 rushing yards. David Etienne under 68.5 rushing yards. Bo Nix over his 18.5 rushing yards. Evan Ingram over 26.5 receiving yards. 35 beans between quarter of a unit and half a unit for me on this slip with J Will that I added. I did this on Underdog. I took a 60% boost, got a nice higher payout, and I bumped everyone's line. David Etienne, I bumped it upwards. 74.5, took the under. Breece Hall, bumped it up, took the under. Bo Nix, bumped it down, took the over. Evan Ingram, bumped it down, took the over. Out of the 60% boost, they only allow me to do half a unit, so I did a half a unit. If I was able to do a full unit on this slip right here, I would do a full unit. That is all I have. Let me go to mi gente en español. Aquí le va brevemente un resumen. Breece Hall, por debajo de 67.5 rushing yards, con una defensa súper difícil para Breece Hall, al igual con David Etienne. Por debajo de 68.5 rushing yards. Bo Nix por encima de 18.5 rushing yards. Y Evan Ingram por encima de 26.5 receiving yards. Hice una alternativa donde subí la línea de David Etienne a 74, tomé por debajo. Subí la línea de Breece Hall a 74.5, tomé por debajo. Bajé la línea de Bo Nix y la tomé por encima. Bajé la línea de Evan Ingram y la tomé por encima por mitad de una unidad. La unidad mía es una unidad, $100. Media cuarto unidad, 3/4 de unidad, $75. Media unidad, $50. Y un cuarto de unidad, $25. Right? Eso es todo lo que tengo. That is all I have for you, my friends. You guys take care of yourself. God bless you and your family. Best of luck. Use all these picks as you wish. Don't just throw this slip in just because I put it in, expect it to hit. He may hit. I've hit plenty of slips in my history, but doesn't mean that he will. These games are played on the field, not on paper. I'm using my information from watching games, and I'm using my information from the data and matchups and how those things are relevant to get to my picks and share them with you. All right. That is all I have. You take care of yourself. God bless you and your family. Que Dios te bendiga y hasta la próxima.